phrases in the English language. It had connotations with crazy golf and corporate away days, with parties where you stood in the corner, ears ringing, wondering when it was socially acceptable to leave. The kids didn't buy it either. They started moaning about Disneyland of all places. I followed the family down the aisle towards the front of the plane, trying to remember the images of Longyearbyen I'd seen online. Colourful wooden houses against a backdrop of snow-covered mountains. Towering icebergs with deep blue undersides. The northern lights undulating in green and purple ribbons across the sky. Mugs of hot chocolate by a roaring fire. But the picture of the Arctic I had in my mind dissolved the minute I stepped outside the plane. The cold hit me like a slap in the face and my legs nearly buckled with the shock. It was also completely dark, despite being 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I froze, both literally and figuratively. "Babe, we're holding people up." I could hear the embarrassment in his voice as the people queuing behind him began to passive-aggressively grumble in several different languages. But there was no way of backing out now, for the choice had been made the moment I stepped onto the plane. I forced myself down the stairs. The cold penetrated my down jacket in seconds. It lacerated my face. The insides of my nostrils felt like they were being sliced with tiny razors. Every country has a different scent. It's normally the first thing you notice when you get off the plane. England smells like rain and concrete. Bitter, but fresh. When I went to Dubai last year, the air was swampy with humidity, infused with petrol fumes and moist vegetation. But here, I couldn't smell anything at all. Once we reached the bottom of the stairs, Ryan put his arm around me. "Fucking freezing, isn't it? We should have worn our balaclavas." "I couldn't wear that on a plane, I'd be arrested," I said. The skin on my face felt stiff, as if it was covered in a layer of frost. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was. "Quick, let's get inside." We crunched through several inches of snow, past men in snowsuits who were unloading the luggage. Others were in vehicles surrounding the plane next to ours, shooting what was presumably de-icing fluid at it. I glanced past the plane, hoping to see the scenery beyond the airport, but there was only darkness. Instead, I focused my attention on the illuminated terminal building in front of us. Looking through the glass doors, I saw people, mostly bearded white guys, in puffy outdoor jackets and chunky snow boots gathered around a single luggage carousel. When we stepped through the automatic doors, the temperature rose so rapidly I groaned out loud in relief. "Wow, that was bracing," Ryan said. "You're telling me." We glanced at each other. His cheeks were bright red and his eyes were streaming with the cold, but he was smiling. And I found myself smiling back. And then we both began to laugh. I'm not sure why. The relief of being warm, perhaps? Or maybe mild hysteria on my part. Like, what the fuck were we doing here, really? Still, at least we were in it together. Chapter 2. Outside the terminal, the coach was waiting to take people to Longyearbyen. I climbed on board as soon as I could, leaving Ryan to stow our bags in the luggage compartment. From my window seat, I could see him helping 2 frail, bundled-up figures with theirs, and pausing to chat to them afterwards. He was good at making small talk with everyone he met. It was a quality I envied, because I couldn't hold a conversation without thinking whoever I was talking to was A, trying to work out my ethnicity, B, wanted to be left alone, C, thought I was boring, or D, all of the above. "Hi, is this seat taken?" I looked up to see Ryan standing in the aisle. "It's password protected." "Squidge," he said. "All yours." Squidge was one of the words from our gross couple lexicon, as Nina called it. Nina's my best friend and has a PhD in development studies, hence the vocabulary. Thanks to her and Ryan, pretty much everyone I've been hanging out with for the past couple of years is a PhD student, which can be quite intimidating when you never went to